Can you open the Chamber of Secrets in Hogwarts Legacy? And if you did, what would happen? This video is sponsored by Warner Brothers, and the Chamber of Secrets does indeed exist in Hogwarts Legacy. In fact, there's a symbol on the very tap that one would use to open it. But you yourself cannot actually open the Chamber of Secrets. Interestingly, however, another student at Hogwarts can, and he's attending the school at the same time as you. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the lore of the Harry Potter universe and the Chamber of Secrets itself, in order to find out if you can open the Chamber of Secrets in 1899, when Hogwarts Legacy is based. And what would actually happen if we did indeed open the chamber to release the beast within? But let's go back a few years first and start at the beginning. Why does the Chamber of Secrets actually exist? What purpose does it serve? Well, the chamber was in fact created under the dungeons of Hogwarts during the medieval times by Salazar Slytherin. Now, Salazar Slytherin was in fact one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts School, and the founder of Slytherin House. And the founders of Hogwarts all left their own marks on the school. But Salazar Slytherin was very keen on only allowing pure-blooded wizards to attend Hogwarts. A pureblood is a witch or wizard with no muggles or muggles born in their family tree. In the wizarding world, this is extremely rare, and as time goes on, in order for pure-blooded families to maintain their pure blood, they must breed within other pure-blooded families, and naturally this has led to mental instability as time goes on. But that's a story for another video. Let's go back to the story of Salazar Slytherin. Following a disagreement with the other founders about his extreme views on only accepting pure-blood wizards into Hogwarts School, he was actually cast out from Hogwarts for his beliefs, but not before creating the Chamber of Secrets. In the year 993, Salazar Slytherin, despite his fellow Hogwarts founders in their acceptance of Muggleborns into the school, hatched a Basilisk egg deep within the chamber in the hopes that one day his true heir would unleash her to purge all of those he deemed unworthy to study magic at Hogwarts. Only a true heir of Slytherin would be able to control the Basilisk. Now, considering Hogwarts Legacy is based in 1899, this would mean that the Basilisk has been hidden within the Chamber of Secrets already for over 1,000 years, making it the oldest magical creature in existence. Interestingly, the location of the Chamber of Secrets is different in Hogwarts Legacy compared to Harry Potter's time 100 years later. I'll explain the reason for this later on, but now let's head down to the Chamber of Secrets entrance itself. So to get to the entrance of the Chamber of Secrets for yourself, you're going to want to come over here on the map to the courtyard outside of the Great Hall just here. You can see this is the courtyard, and if we turn around we can go into the Great Hall entrance, but instead of going inside we're going to turn right, go past this Hoghead statue, and then go down this dark staircase all the way to the bottom. This is actually where the Slytherin common room is located, but obviously not everyone's in Slytherin, so I thought I'd show you roughly where that was. There's also a chest here on the left, and also there's this really creepy statue. Look at this. It looks like the movement it made just before it died. It's kind of creepy. And then if we take a right, just down the corridor here, we're going to find the witch's bathroom, and over here is the wizard's bathroom. Now obviously we know the Chamber of Secrets is in the girls' toilets, which is curious because if you look around these tap handles, all of the taps, specifically this tap, actually look normal. So now let's go to the girls' toilets. Now the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets is clearly marked with the symbol of Salazar Slytherin on one of the taps. Positioning wise, it is the exact same tap we see marked with the engraved snake in the movies. However, since we are not the heir of Salazar Slytherin, and we do not speak Parcel tongue, which is the language of snakes, we therefore cannot command the chamber to open. But the date is 1899, and conveniently, a member of the Gaunt family is currently attending Hogwarts school as a student. If we take a look at the Gaunt family tree, we can see that the Gaunts are in fact direct, pure-blooded descendants to Salazar Slytherin, the founder of Hogwarts. And Ominis Gaunt is listed here. This means that Ominus should in fact be able to speak Parcel tongue to open the Chamber of Secrets. But does he actually know that the chamber is even hidden here? I'll explain if he does or doesn't in a moment. But first, let's delve deeper into Ominus's relationship with his family, which becomes very clear when you meet him for the first time in the Slytherin common room. To summarise, Ominis Gaunt does not agree with his family's obsession with their pure blood status, and their use of the dark arts on muggles for sport. But despite his views, he is still an heir of Slytherin. Whether he agrees with Salazar's principles or not is another story. But the question still remains, would Ominus know the location of the Chamber of Secrets? Well, he almost certainly does. Firstly, he knows about the secret location of the Undercroft and how to enter it. He also explains to us how only the Gaunt family knows of its existence, and how the knowledge has been guarded and passed down through the generations. He also knows about the existence and the entrance to the Slytherin Scriptorium from his family relatives as well. So, one can certainly assume that he has been told about the Chamber of Secrets as well. In fact, we can almost be certain of this because it's confirmed in the lore that Corvinus Gaunt, Ominus's grandfather, actually knew how to enter the chamber and helped keep the entrance concealed when Hogwarts' plumbing was changed in the 17th century. You see, the location of the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets is different in Hogwarts Legacy compared to Harry Potter's time, and the reason for this may actually not be a mistake from the developers. Let me explain. See, during Salazar Slytherin's time in 1993, the Chamber of Secrets was accessible through a concealed trapdoor and a series of magical tunnels that led to the chamber itself. However, in the 17th century there was a proposal to install an elaborate plumbing system at Hogwarts, which included new bathrooms. However, this obviously threatened the exposure of the Chamber of Secrets, and so Corvinus Gaunt, Ominus's grandfather and also a descendant of Salazar Slytherin himself, who knew of the chamber's location and how to open them, helped with the Hogwarts plumbing plans in order to secretly and discreetly hide the chamber's entrance from the other people at the school at the time. Now, this took place between the 17th and 18th century, so it is entirely possible and feasible to imagine that the Chamber of Secrets actually has multiple entrances. Since during Harry Potter's attendance at Hogwarts in 1993, the Chamber of Secrets was located on the second floor girls' lavatory. But right now, during Hogwarts Legacy's time, which is based in 1899, the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets is instead located here near the Slytherin common room in the girls' lavatory. This change, however, may have simply been for game design reasons, but so far we can definitely conclude that since Ominus's grandfather knew of the chamber's location and how to open it, it's likely that Ominus at least knows of the location, if not also how to open it as well. So we can use Ominis Gaunt to gain entry to the Chamber of Secrets. Well, it's not actually that simple, because during the questline in Hogwarts Legacy, with both Ominus and his friend Sebastian, you can convince Ominus to show you the entrance to the Slytherin Scriptorium. During the quest itself, you'll firstly have to solve a puzzle to open the secret passage near the Slytherin common room. Interestingly, this passage is marked with the same snake-like symbol. It's It's kind of like two backwards snakes in the shape of an S framed by a diamond. Well, this same symbol is the exact same one we see on the tap of the Chamber of Secrets entrance, which is curious indeed that all of these secret passages are marked with the same symbol. Once we light the braziers and gain entrance to the magical corridor that leads to the Slytherin Scriptorium, however, we are confronted by a great door blocked with interlocking serpents. Now, if we repair the stone carving to the left here, we get to see an illustration of a witch cradling a snake and communicating with it to gain entrance to the Scriptorium. Ominus also reveals to us that as soon as we repair it, he suddenly starts hearing a snake talking to him. He also reveals and confirms that he does in fact speak Parcel tongue.
You hear a voice.
It started when you repaired that relief. I hear a whisper saying, "Speak to me." I'm a parcel mouth. I can hear and speak to snakes. Nearly all known parcel mouths are descended from Salazar Slytherin. I can't believe I'm doing this.
It worked! Ominus, you possess a rare ability indeed.
Between the two of you, I'm starting to feel left out.
Between the two of us?
Now, the fact that Ominus can speak Parcel tongue and likely knows the location of the Chamber of Secrets means that in theory, yes, we could indeed open the Chamber of Secrets with his assistance. However, convincing him to do this may prove difficult. This is partly due to the journey of entering the Scriptorium itself, where he actually discovers his aunt's body, the body of Noctua Gaunt, who had hoped to find evidence that Salazar Slytherin was not as evil as history portrayed. However, if we follow her footsteps, we eventually discover the trapped room where her body rests, with the only way out being to perform the unforgivable curse Crucio on somebody in the presence of this enchanted black door. Sadly, Noctua Gaunt had nobody with her to perform the Crucio curse on, and so her body rots here next to the door. Likely she died of starvation with no escape down here. If this wasn't already scarring enough to Ominus, we then have to perform the curse Crucio in order to gain access to the Scriptorium. After performing the unforgivable curse, we then discover the Scriptorium's entrance, and within we can actually find Salazar Slytherin's plan of how he plotted to kill the apparently unworthy Muggleborns who attended Hogwarts. Now, this diary entry was written by him following his disagreement with the other founders of Hogwarts. I tire of the discord and can no longer bear witness to the corridors full of inept children masquerading as witches and wizards. It is with a heavy heart that I know I must go on from here. I shall place the creature into a deep sleep in its chamber until it can be awakened by one who shares my views, a descendant willing to reverse the damage that the others have so carelessly wrought, one who shall rid the school of those unworthy of Hogwarts that would serve only to stain my legacy. This diary entry obviously confirms the true sinister, dark nature of Salazar Slytherin and his obsession with only pure bloods being allowed at Hogwarts. It also confirms his placement of the Basilisk egg in the Chamber of Secrets all those years ago. Now, Ominus, on the other hand, is distraught by this whole experience, and so I imagine it would be very unlikely that even if Ominus did know the location of the Chamber of Secrets, that he would ever now want to share it with us after what has happened here in the Scriptorium. But do we need Ominus to enter the Chamber of Secrets? Not necessarily. In the Deathly Hallows books, and part 2 of the movies, there's actually a scene where Ron Weasley is able to impersonate Parcel tongue. Apparently this is due to him listening to Harry talk in his sleep quite often. And Ron can impersonate it well enough to open the Chamber of Secrets himself. It does take several attempts for him to actually open it, however, but he does succeed. But nevertheless, this confirms that one does not even need to be the heir of Slytherin or even understand the language of snakes to open the Chamber of Secrets. You can merely impersonate Parcel to gain entry. However, you need to consider the fact that you, as a nameless student, don't actually know of the Chamber of Secrets entry or location. That said, the symbol is the same as the entrance to the Scriptorium, so one could still deduce that that is the entrance if your character was to notice that symbol on the tap. So, it is possible to open the Chamber of Secrets. However, for lore reasons, if we were to open the Chamber of Secrets, the Basilisk wouldn't be able to die. This is because Tom Riddle, Voldemort, as a heir of Slytherin and a Parcel himself, actually opens the chamber and unleashes the Basilisk during his time at school in the future in 1942. In an attempt to drive the Muggleborns out of Hogwarts, and in the process fulfill Salazar Slytherin's wishes. This is also how Moaning Myrtle was killed, and the school almost entirely closed completely. And this happened again in 1992. The chamber was reopened by the bewitched diary that Tom Riddle left behind. This diary was found by Ginny Weasley, and she was then manipulated to open the Chamber of Secrets again. But ultimately, on this occasion, the Basilisk was finally killed by Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets with the Sword of Gryffindor in 1993. Now, due to this series of events, it is very unlikely that the Chamber of Secrets would ever be opened, since if you kill the Basilisk early, Harry Potter would not be able to kill it again later, unless the Basilisk was an unkillable enemy to us, that you could only simply escape from in the depths of Hogwarts' plumbing. That in itself would be a really interesting and very exciting experience, trying to navigate the maze of Hogwarts sewers while being chased by an unkillable Basilisk. And since Basilisks are completely resistant to the majority of spells, it would actually make sense that you, as the nameless player, wouldn't be able to kill it yet. In fact, since we know there are multiple entrances to the Chamber of Secrets itself, it would actually make sense in the lore that we could be running away during a boss fight with the Basilisk, and then we could cave in one of the entrances to the Chamber of Secrets in order to stop it killing us. That in itself would be a pretty exciting experience. Also, theoretically speaking, another possible option that fits with the lore is that Ominis Gaunt would in fact be able to command the Basilisk, since he is an heir of Slytherin. He could command it not to attack us, and therefore the Basilisk would not be a threat to us at all. And we also know, given Ominus' history, that he has no intention of hurting any Muggle-born wizards in attendance at Hogwarts, so entering the chamber would have no impact on any of the history of Hogwarts in a sense. So to conclude, it would indeed be possible to open and explore the Chamber of Secrets during 1899 when Hogwarts Legacy takes place, perhaps in a future expansion of the game. However, the developers would have to come up with a compelling and exciting storyline that didn't impact the future story of Harry Potter and Tom Riddle. What do you guys think that storyline could be? Even more interestingly, if you have doubt about the idea of opening the Chamber of Secrets, it is actually stated on Wizarding World that there is evidence that the chamber was opened more than once between the death of Slytherin and the entrance of Tom Riddle in the 20th century. But since none of those events were ever written about or recorded, it's not impossible to consider that the chamber could indeed be opened during the time period when Hogwarts Legacy is based. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this lore video, do leave a like on it, because I'm not so sure if this was interesting to you guys or not. And based on your response, I might do some more of these videos, because there's so many interesting concepts going on in the Harry Potter universe and lore that I very much grew up with and am excited by. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.